Hey everybody, welcome back to the Horror Vault. As we all know, it's October, and this year I'm doing the 31 Nights of Horror Challenge, which is basically, as it sounds, you watch one horror film every night. There is 2 videos already up on this channel which show you my choices for this year. I'll put them at the end of the video, both parts, so you can check them out. But today is the beginning of it, and today's choice was Don't Look in the Basement from 1973, I believe. I'm sure it's 1973. So this was directed by, as you can see at the top actually, S.F. Brownrigg, who also did 1974 film Scum of the Earth, which is kind of like a hillbilly horror type film. And also in the same year, he did Don't Open the Door, which is also known as Don't Hang Up. So evidently he has a thing about don't in the title. But it didn't actually make that many films, surprisingly. But the ones that he's made are actually pretty good. Yeah, they're low budget, they're independent stuff. But there isn't much you can't do in an independent film. You just do what you want to do, I suppose. You haven't got the constraints of a Hollywood studio behind you, which, yeah, be its ups and downs depending on what you want to do in a film. But in this case, it works quite well because it's a small film with a reasonably small cast. I'll give you a brief synopsis of the film. The film follows Nurse Charlotte Beale, who is played by former Playboy model Rosie Holitic, who she joins the sanitarium. It's called Stevens Sanitarium, I believe, and she goes there for a job. She doesn't realise one of the people who was in charge of the sanitarium has actually been murdered, and the rest of the film is her going round dealing with the patients, and possibly one of the patients isn't who they say them are. Now, it's got its own little quirky characters. There's the judge who keeps repeating his line about who he is and what he does in the court. There's a character who was an ex-sergeant, so he's constantly on patrol looking out for possible enemies. There's a girl who's kind of a nymphomaniac, I suppose, but she's really looking for attention from men and constantly seeks it. In a way, there's a girl that's always walks around with a baby doll, and there's a few other characters as well, but that's the main ones you tend to see throughout the film. The person who should have probably got more work than she actually got, because I think she only did a couple of things. I think she did an episode of Perry Mason, or maybe the TV movie or something, and that was Rosie Holitic, who plays Nurse Charlotte Beale, because she has a look that would work, and she can act reasonably well, compared to some of the people I've seen act in films. But yeah, she only did a couple of things. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of those cheapy 1970s drive-in theatre type films. I believe this was actually on a double bill with Wes Craven's debut at the time, Last House on the Left. I believe that's correct. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm sure that's what it was. Because yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure this was, because Last House on the Left was 74, I believe, and this is 73, so it would have came out. Yeah, it would have gone out in the cinema together. But S.F. Browning's son actually has done a sequel to Don't Look in the Basement, which I think you can all guess what it's called. But if not, it's called Don't Look in the Basement 2. Came out in 2015. The film's set 40 years after the events of the first film, and it follows a character who I'm not going to name because if you haven't seen the first film, follows that character going back to the Stevens Sanitarium and finding out that things aren't exactly going back to normal like they should have done after the events of the first film. It's got an interesting idea to it. I haven't watched it myself. I did look up on IMDb to see if any original cast members are actually involved. I couldn't see anybody that was involved, which is a shame because I'm sure there would be probably a couple of people that would have came back for it in some form or fashion. But it's a fun film, the first film, Don't Look in the Basement. So that was my first film for this month of 31 Nights of Horror. Let me know down in the comments down below if you've seen this film, what you think of it. If you've seen the second film, also let me know what that's about. That is like. Oh, I should mention this is also known as The Forgotten and Death Warden 13. Though most people would probably know it as Don't Look in the Basement, which you don't really know. The title of the film doesn't really make much sense until you get towards the last, I don't know, say 20 minutes of the film. Makes more sense than the title, but The Forgotten, that kind of makes a bit more sense. Death Warden 13, yeah. But as I said, let me know in the comments below if you've seen the first film. If you've seen the second film, let me know what it's like, whether I should check it out or not. As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit the red button down below. Hit the notification bell as well, because that'll let you notify you when I have put up more videos. Any suggestions of anything, leave in the comments down below. And as I always say, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video. Bye for now.